kitchen, getting some of that awesome coffee that we do every week. So I'm just gonna kind of get started. Do we have anyone in Zoom, Cheryl, with us today?
Yes, we do.
Couple people, one person, two people. All right, so welcome to 1 Million Cups. My name is Melissa Wilson. I'm one of our MCs here for our volunteer community. We are a program that is sponsored by the Kauffman Foundation, which is in Kansas City, Missouri. They launched 1 Million Cups in 2012. So this morning, our group, that Detroit Metro, is meeting. Ann Arbor is meeting this morning, as well as two other communities in Michigan. One's in Copper County, up in the UP, and in Kalamazoo. So we have 4 communities meeting this week, right? And the Wednesday mornings to kind of get together and help small businesses, startup businesses, kind of hold each other's hand and get us through what it takes to be an active, viable, and sustainable business in the ecosystem that we're in. So I'm mentioning that because it's not just us, right? It's not just Michigan. There's 116 communities all around the United States. So if you've presented here before, you know that in our community we have Zoom, where Gerald is, our co-lead here for our volunteer organizer. He's let people in on the Zoom room. You can always come in the Zoom room. One of the things we use that for in our community is to record our presenters so that we can put it up on our YouTube channel so that they could see kind of what happened when they were doing their presentation. Because sometimes it's a little overwhelming being up on the stage or doing public speaking, right? And so I'm going to put in my first ask for you guys as a community. I see a lot of familiar faces and I see a lot of new people coming to the room. But we are looking to get 50 subscribers on our Detroit Metro YouTube channel. So it's 1 Million Cups Detroit Metro. That's our channel. Once we get 50 subscribers, right? We're 1/5 of the way there. We have 12 right now. Then we can do YouTube live stream. And the reason we want to do YouTube live stream is because the Kauffman Foundation is about to make the Zoom aspect go away. They believe that we should always be meeting in person, that some of us stragglers that are still doing hybrid meetings, we should really be encouraging people to come in person, which works out great for our community. We have a large group of people that come here every week and we're grateful to see you. But we still want to make that hybrid aspect available. So if you have access to YouTube, even if you're not even really like checking it or whatever, we really would appreciate the subscription, subscribing to our channel, because once we get 50, then we can just set up a cell phone from any one of our volunteer organizers and do that live streaming, and then that recording will just go right onto YouTube for our presenters. So on that note, I have my laptop up here with the webcam, and we're just practicing what that looks like today. So we don't have anybody on right now. It's looking, oh, you're on it? I look fine. Then we have a marker here, and so, this is what we look like. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. Everyone got their coffee? Yes, awesome. So 1 million cups really literally means that it takes 1 million cups of coffee or whatever your preferred beverage is to make all those connections to keep your business, sustainable and thriving. How many people in here are small business startups? Small business startups. I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm sure there's one. Thank you, Curtis, for your hand up. How many people here are working for a business? Working for a business. I'm doing that too. All right, how many people in the room have been here before? Let's show that by raising of hands, right? To help the people who are new to see who keeps coming back. And then how many people are here for the very first time? Ready, David? How many people are here for the very first time? So thank you for coming. Hold your hands up, because if you're here for the first time, we give a special gift on the house from 1 Million Cups to people who are coming for their first time. Until we run out of these business journals, we'll be handing those out to people. So thank you guys for being first timers. So this is how 1 Million Cups works. This is what makes us different from any other type of pitch type of an event. It's the fact that we don't pitch, right? We're not pitching. I can hear my P's and my P's on this microphone to tell you guys that. So we are all about supporting that small business and helping them, overcome obstacles they might be stuck in. So this is how our format's going to go today for the few new people and for the people who've heard this before. We're going to, I'm going to tell you one more thing about 1 Million Cups and how to be a presenter. We are looking for organizers to join our team, specifically in the marketing role, and you wouldn't be the only one. But we do need some help with managing like one small aspect of each one of our socials And so if you're interested in being a volunteer organizer, all that takes is a 1 hour a week meeting, maybe 1 hour a week of helping us with that one aspect of marketing, and then coming to this event whenever you feel like it. Okay, so that's my plug for organizers. How do I do? Organizers, please raise your hands, right? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of us in the room right now, and I think we have 10 total in our team. We have 13 total in our group. All right, and then, so I'm gonna talk about 1 million cups for 1 more minute, which is, and then we're going to pass the mic to our coffee sponsor. So anyone in the room that wants to sponsor coffee, buying coffee for 40 to 50 people, and then you get a couple minutes to pitch your business on a microphone, right? So that's not a presentation. You don't have to be a coffee owner. You can literally say who your business is and what you're doing and pitch it to the room. Then after that, we introduce our speakers, and we only have 1 speaker typically in my community, unless they're a team, like today we have a team, and they get 5 to 10 minutes to present their business. And when I say present, I mean, right, just say who you are, the problem you're resolving, kind of what niche you're in, and where you're stuck as a business owner. Not necessarily stuck, but there's things that are too close to you that you're not necessarily able to overcome in the next week or month or by the end of the year. So you're going to ask the community to help support you with this big question. And then you guys get to come up and take the mic and offer suggestions to our presenter. And the reason we use mics in here is because of our recording. Some other communities are smaller and it's just, conversational. And then what I would love you to pay attention to if you come up and offer suggestions to our speakers is that you're offering experiences, right? You're offering like a suggestion that maybe is coming from something that's happened to you before. It's not just off the top of your head. Maybe it's a collaboration with yourself, or maybe it's somebody that you know in the community that you can just come up on the mic and say, hey, I know somebody. I'm saying this on the microphone for you and for anyone else in the room who can help you with this. Right, so the whole idea is like experiential support, not you should do this, you should do this, right? No one wants to get shit on at our. I was just making sure you guys are listening. Are you listening? Okay, good. All right. So, and then once the presenters are done, about 5-10 minutes before 10 o'clock, we allow our community sponsor, which is Oakland Thrive, who's going to get 2 talking points today, whatever you want to do with that. And then we do a group photo. We do the group photo. You don't have to be in it, but we like you to be in it because then we make that the thumbnail on our YouTube channel. So I think I wrapped it all up and tied that up with a bow for you. So the last thing I'm going to do before I pass the phone to our coffee sponsor, which is Drake's company today, well, his company he works for today, is I want to thank our venue. So our venue is Incubizo. Incubizo is a community workspace. It's in this building and the building next door. Is Carmen in the room? Somewhere hiding? She's going to be back in a minute.
She said she'd be back.
So Incubizo will allow anyone who is here for 1 million cups anytime that you come to stay for the rest of the day and use this workspace. So just, remember that when you come, and if you bring a friend, if you want to set up meetings afterwards, just talk to Carmen or Josh who manages this space, and you can either meet in this building or the building across the street. And with that, I'm going to pass it over. Oh, no, one more thing. If you want to present, 1millioncups.com/present. And then you go to Detroit and you sign up to present. There's 3 or 4 questions, and then you get to see how that rolls. All right, I'm done now. Pass me to you. Come on.
All right.
Thanks.
Thank you, Lisa, and good morning, everyone. It is great to be here. It's great to be here every Wednesday. This has really become a crusade, and that is shown by the folks that continue to come back week after week after week. And there's just something really compelling about hearing the business stories about the stories and the journeys of entrepreneurs and small businesses in this community. And as one of Oakland Thrive's 15 small business consultants that fan out throughout the county, I'm happy that we are the premier sponsor of the Detroit Metro 1 Million Cups program. And I think we're moving on to 7 months of having it stood up as a program after it had been defunct for a while. We're happy that it has come back stronger than it was in its last iteration. And what we do as Oakland Thrive, we are, for those of you who are not aware of what we do, we are a support arm to the Oakland County Economic Development Department. And we basically provide one-on-one business consultation to small businesses, solopreneurs, and entrepreneurs throughout Oakland County. I cover Novi, Southline, Wixom, and another city up in New Hudson. And so we have consultants that go throughout all of the different cities of Oakland County. So what you heard somebody mention the QR codes, and I was debating with my colleague Saidi on the handwritten ones versus the QR code. I said we can really get everybody if we have to write it down, but we don't know who uses the QR code. But we're asking that everyone please graciously just please sign in using the QR code, because that information is very important for us to be able to continue to even justify being the sponsor of this program, and for us to be able to follow up with you to help you with the services that you may be in need of. And so today, we are, like Biggie Small said, we are the client and the president, because not only are we the premier sponsor, but we are the coffee sponsor. I don't normally get up to talk about Oakland Drive, but thank you, Melissa, for having us be a coffee sponsor. And I think,
Melissa. Just saying, it's not Melissa.
and so I'm not going to, keep it going. I think I'm going to give the mic back to you, and you're going to call up our. We do have a position today.
Yeah, we do.
Okay, all right. Well then, let's go.
All right, cool. Thank you. All right, thank you to Oakland Drive for being our not only our community sponsor, but for sponsoring our coffee and buying everybody's coffee today. All right, so our presenters today, it's Monarch Coaching. Ladies, you can come on up here. They're going to be telling us who they are, what problem they're solving, and then they're going to ask a community question. We do have a slide deck, so if you're in a spot where you can't see the TV, you can move it, or not. It's up to you. We tried our best to make it a little more accessible today. And they'll have 5 to 10 minutes to present, and then if you'd like to offer them suggestions or experiences, if you can come up over to this side right here where I'm standing, so that they can still be on Zoom, and then you'll have a mic and they'll have a mic, and they'll take your suggestions. All right, who gets the mic first? Okay, there you go. Do you want? I don't think they'll get. I think they'll get feedback.
So good morning, everyone. Before we start the introduction, if you allow us, I'm gonna invite you to close your eyes if you feel comfortable. Okay, awesome. So I want you to think back on someone who inspired you. Think about what that person did or say that helped you realize something within yourself you didn't even know you had. A skill or talent you now believe in because they saw your potential in health development. Maybe it was a family member, a colleague, a manager, a leader. Somebody saw that potential in you. Think about the person, open your eyes. Thank you for participating. So that's what we want everyone to experience in their life, but especially in their jobs, where studies show that we spend 90,000 hours in average. Now imagine that. Just think about that number, 90,000 hours working. If we believe we all deserve a transformational leader. And that's what we in Monarch Coaching, we do. We develop leaders, we create leaders that create and leave lasting and positive impact.
So, why we do this? So, a little bit of background about Erika and myself. We actually started out on the leadership development company for a Forbes 500 company. So, when we were networking and talking with friends and family, we realized that what we did was very unique. Not a lot of companies invest in leadership development. And two of the things that we realized was particularly post-pandemic, mid-level managers were not getting the guidance and resources and the same support that, let's say, executives or VPs were getting. So they've got their coaches, they have their individual training, but the mid-level managers, the people on the front lines, were getting pennies. They weren't getting anything. So we saw a huge gap in that. And we also just saw an overall lack of investment in leadership development from organizations in general. So what we do is we help and go into organizations and we implement a process, which we'll share in just a moment, that helps create empathetic, authentic, and accountable mid-level management leaders so they can have a very positive and uplifting culture. And that kind of brings us to the name of Monarch Coaching. Obviously, the transformational piece is the butterfly, caterpillar to the butterfly. But we also focus a lot on the butterfly effect. So we're not about going into organizations and just doing a complete 180 and flipping everything on its head. What we actually want to do is create very small incremental changes daily that are easy for leaders to implement that will help them transform and leave a very lasting impact on their company culture and their employees.
So our main product, simply put, is we offer a 6-month online leadership program. It has 11 online, self-paced online courses, and each one of them is accompanied with a coaching session. So what it makes us special, and Olga was asking this earlier, because we have a lot of companies out there with online packages, with coaching sessions. What makes us special is we actually, during those individual coaching sessions, we are reinforcing the content that they learn, so we are holding them accountable. The organization don't have to do it. We are holding those leaders accountable, that they're doing everything. They facilitate communication guides that we have in those trainings, the resources that we share, but we also tailored that coaching session to their specific needs. Because as leaders, we have different personalities in our team, so we make sure that we tailor that content to their specific and unique needs as well. And we incorporate company vision, values, and goals. So we make sure that we streamline the company culture, because again, it comes from the top, but also we need the middle level managers, the leaders, how we call them, to help us with the culture, the organization culture. So yes, they are being developed by Monarch Coaching, but they are going to be the ones developing their team members as well.
So let's talk about pricing. So we do have a free option through Monarch Coaching. We actually have a Monarch Leadership Community. It's like an online community, think of it kind of as a Facebook group, but it's actually housed through our website. So if you are interested in joining this for free, you can always talk to us afterwards. We do have a QR code at the end too. So that's my shameless plug there. But we also, for the 6-month program Erika was talking about, we have a individual user price point of $2,300. 6-month program, they have 11 courses, 12 coaching sessions, so $2,300 we thought was a fair price point. And we do have a 10-user subscription, but we're also looking for the 20-user subscription is what, the bread and butter is, right? So it's just under $40,000 for a 20-user subscription for this. They actually get the program for a year. So they have 12 months access to all of this, but we encourage people to complete it in 6 months for the best results.
So here is our biggest challenge and our biggest ask for all of you. So we need to get in front of our ideal customer. So a little bit about our ideal customer. We are looking into be in front of startup founders, ages between 25 to 45, and quickly scaling as well, where they have between 5 to 1,000 employees. And already, maybe they are in Series A funding, where they have between 2 to 15 million. So before that, these are the things that we have tried. We have offered companies to pilot the program for free, just to see how it works. So for example, if you have 10 leaders, we offer to 2 of them and see if this is something that fits in their culture and in their development. We have been in different podcast interviews to establish our credibility, but we still want to be in more of them to talk about leadership, especially social media marketing. We post in Instagram, especially in LinkedIn, and we talk again about leadership. So we provide resources and talk about the why of leadership and the importance. Again, as Taylor mentioned, we have a free online leadership community with we hope to have advocates. So this is free. We provide resources. We have once a month meetups. So we usually facilitate content, something that helps them to develop their leadership skills to leaders and aspiring leaders as well. And we attend live tech events, and such as Boston, we went to set up Boston Week, and we went to Michigan Tech Week as well.
Okay, so here's what we learned from these things. So when we were piloting, full disclosure, we weren't quite piloting to our ideal customer at the time. So we're still open to trying this, and we still are actually trying this. For podcasts, they're great. They're local. We run the Royal Oak Chamber of Commerce podcast. They're just not really marketed towards our ideal client. So if anyone knows of any podcasts that we could potentially get on, that would be great. Specializing in, company culture, leadership, that kind of thing. social media marketing. So we don't pay for ads or anything. So this is all organic and very grassroots marketing. But we did just make a recent shift within the last 2 weeks or so to focus more on LinkedIn as opposed to Instagram. So if you follow us on Instagram after this, we're very prevalent on there. We just made a shift to post more frequently on LinkedIn because that's where our customer lives. And then for the online community, it is great for building brand advocates and building relationships with people who might potentially be customers in the future, but right now it hasn't generated any leads. And then for the live events, these have been very fruitful for us as far as making the right connections. However, one of our stuck points is that we don't have the proof and the data to really solidify that this is something that works for Starbucks. So that's kind of been the challenge as well, is kind of nurturing those leads. It takes a while for them to buy into what we're doing when there isn't any proof just yet. So.
Yes, so that is our ask. What ideas do you have for us to help attract our ideal customers with any events, connections, and partnerships that we can make? And we appreciate it. Thank you.
Right. So we'll give us something good. I'm actually gonna grab my coffee.
Yeah.
Good morning. Good morning.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Okay, first of all, I'm a WBE. Are you guys a certified WBE?
No.
Not yet.
Okay, you need to run there quick. And here's why. Because this is where I've met all my contacts. They have meetings with the top corporations and you get in, you go to the events and you get to talk to them. And I think that sounds like your ideal client. So that's number one. Number two, I have a lot of followers on LinkedIn, and the way I did that was I hired several times third-party vendors to go after those people, and the communication back from the people I got on that was excellent. The other thing I do is every time I go to an event like today, I go back, where did I get them from? I connect with them on LinkedIn. I try to do it within 48 hours, but I'm not always successful. And, but anyways, at this point, I'm getting like 1,000 views on certain things. The other thing that I put on my LinkedIn are all my videos. And then it just shows people that are watching you, and maybe you're already doing that, but you know what you're doing. Those would be my suggestions.
Thank you so much.
Can I interject real quick? Because we forgot to share our shiny object syndrome that we have. Sorry, Lynn, that was great and it's very helpful.
Yeah,
But
and actually we thought about that name, and just the fact that you're mentioning that again, it just like makes us think that like we definitely need to get a certification. So yes, thank you so much.
thank you.
Yeah, so the shiny objects, we have the syndrome, and as entrepreneurs, I'm pretty sure you guys have it as well. We have considered to do monthly webinars, quarterly cohort workshops, so we talk about the transformational series, not just for leaders, but professional development. In having our own podcast in YouTube, we would love to, but we want to have it with good, very good quality, and we will be spending a lot of time as well in that. So I don't know if it is something that we want to invest just yet, but those are the things that we have considered.
Okay. But also being a WB, yes, we definitely consider that too. And we will jump on that bandwagon.
I used to work as an administrator of a school, and we got a lot of different, we developed a lot of different relationships with the Detroit Chambers of Commerce. Now, that was a while ago, and they actually had a lot of large leaders of large corporations that worked, that would come there as members. So I was thinking, I don't know what city you're targeting or whatever, but if you can target a city that has a chamber that has members with a lot of large corporations or whatever, that may be able to help you to get in the room with those type of people. Because I think the most important thing for all of us is to get in the right room. And so you can put yourself there. Sometimes you have to pay to get there or whatever, but get in the right room. That's all I'm concerned.
Yeah, thank you. Great job, first off.
You're welcome. So I know you all mentioned that you don't feel as though you have enough data
or, I exactly what you're doing. So I would just challenge you to maybe reconsider your experiences and people you touched in the past, and maybe don't frame it necessarily as you don't have enough data, because you probably do if you rethink the data. So I would say just go after people that you work with, even people in your community, and just repurpose the content in the form of like reviews. You can do video, you can do all types of things, maybe even sending out surveys. So just kind of leveraging the people, even from your professional, I'd be able to say, hey, this program directly impacted them, but they still work with you, and that was still your expertise. So I would just challenge you guys to kind of recreate the data.
Thank you, that's great. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
How you ladies doing today?
Very good.
Definitely, my main experience when it comes to leadership is one of those things that you look at how tangible it is, and can it be measured? And for the crowd aspect, for me, LinkedIn has been the one social media factor where that's where your target audience is, that's where they showcase their skills, their resume. And that's the first step. I would say definitely if you're trying to do a podcast show, one thing, LinkedIn does have a new live feature now. You can do a live feature, build your community in there. And I would say the next thing, look at who's the number one authority in leadership, John Maxwell. I would say definitely connect with John Maxwell. And also, I would say the next thing is, look at the price, your prices are great. You're not overly expensive. I've seen leadership programs, they start at $25,000
For one person.
for one person for a small time period. I will say, whatever your budget is for your business, kind of cherry pick a diverse group of people and work with them and make them your ambassadors and measure and track their process. So when they're finished, they're able to say, hey, I worked with Monarch Coaching. I first started, I was only doing $3,000 a month, but after they coaching, now we hit 6 figures a month and we're growing, we're teaching our staff. I think that would be definitely a step forward for you.
That's great. Thank you so much.
Really good ideas. I'm so glad we came.
Good morning, ladies. Wonderful presentation. Just a few. Okay, give me the Good morning, everyone. Good presentation. You were talking about a lot of things organic. I always think I'm the person who says got to crack some eggs in the omelet. LinkedIn, social media, yes. But a lot of times, I believe that social media, some people believe that you get spammed a lot. So I would get a lot of placement with this book. I believe like sometimes Google, you pay $5-10 a day for like SEO pay-per-clicks. Yes, you use them, you click, and then they're gone for the day, but it does get traffic there because people are looking for coaching. I noticed that you have a cup in your hand. You've been sponsoring 1 million cups. That could be your logo because you've been sponsoring all day, things like that. I know you both love the network. It could have been, I remember this is my second meeting. You could have been passing out like little trinkets to people out here, keeping branding from. So like little things that pass out, you put in front of people while you're here networking. There's 2 of you, I know you said you're part of the Royal Oak Chamber. So you both look like you can network and work the room. So basically maybe something you could pass out to people who work the room while you're working around here.
We forgot the pen.
So there you go. Yeah. So something passing out, work the room, having something in front of people that work the room. But yeah, like I said, maybe like I said, Google, or like I said, promote products, and or like I said, brochures, something about your business, keep in front of people.
I love that. Thank you so much.
Hi, good morning. First, you guys did great. I love your presentation. One thing that I'm a little disconnected on when you started the presentation, you talked about your services and what you're providing, and then the ideal client. For me, there was a disconnect. So I kind of want to understand how the leadership services were you said mid-level managers, and then the ideal client was these founders who are not mid-level managers. So
there I found a disconnect. What you're, everything that you're doing is great, the connection part, because that's totally how I would recommend where I work with my clients through the sales. And I'm gonna do a shameless plug, sales evolution presentation today, 11:30 for Account-Based Branch. Please join me. But that would be the first step of what you're doing, and it's kind of gradual, but optimize that where you are now. When you're out networking and connecting, but you have to connect with the right client who you're trying to meet. So when you're connecting, if it's mid-level managers, you're speaking their language. Because if you're speaking mid-level manager, but you're talking to a founder, it's not going to.
Yeah. Can I offer some clarity?
Yes.
So we sell to organizations or founders, but we would work with their mid-level managers. So our end user would be the people that they're hiring to maybe manage their sales team or do their marketing or whatever, whoever has direct reports, but we wouldn't necessarily put the founders through, if that makes sense.
No, that totally makes
Okay.
sense. That totally makes sense. But also, what I see is who's going to advocate, be the advocate for you, and that would be the manager. So you need to speak to them and give them the ammunition they need for their founder to write the check to you.
Yeah, 100%. I totally understand.
That's where I'm coming from. So when you're out and about, you're saying those key words to them, that they take that to them to get the check, to get to you.
I completely, yes, I agree with that, just because those leaders, the mid-level leaders, they want the training, right? It's the organization, it's like just, we need to help, what you're saying, what I'm understanding is, we need to help them to sell that to their CEOs, senior leaders, and say, hey, we need leadership development. Even HR companies, they know that their leaders need that help, but they don't know how to tell the organization, hey, this is gonna help us in a tangible way in the future. But if people is first, we need to put them first with development. So yes, we need to create something to help
Yeah,
the leaders to
you
communicate
just need
that.
drop it to nuggets to give them, to give back.
Yeah, thank you so much. That sounds great.
Everybody. Hello. Good morning, everybody. So I have done much smaller workshops, but I have found that in settings like this, there's like a 5-minute piece of it that you can teach, and empathy you can all use, right? But if there's a section of the workshop that you're able to just to teach in these settings, it goes a long way to getting the people who are going to tell the other people to be excited about it, to get excited about it.
Yeah,
That's
100%. No, that's perfect. We have one of the shiny objects that we have is we were trying to do a lot of workshops, but we're trying to focus, and shiny object syndrome is like, you're just like, oh, squirrel, like there's something over there, and a lot of entrepreneurs have that, especially when there's so many different aspects to do, so we're trying to focus on sales, but that is a route for sales, for sure, is to get our content out there, yeah.
Hello, ladies again. So today we heard a lot of the right facts of what you do and what you charge and how you do. But we all know that, facts tell and stories sell. So you haven't told us any transformational stories that we can really feel through us and become a part of you. So we don't know how to go out and sell you because all we remember is you do business coaching and how much it costs. And we might forget those things too. But if you tell us stories and we can connect and say, I was here, I got here. Or we help management to free up their time so they don't have to focus on their staff because all of a sudden we are doing that for them and they able to perform a little better. So there is an excellent book called Story Brand, and it's you can listen to it on like YouTube and it's not, but it's all about storytelling. And storytelling is very powerful, as we all know. We love stories, right? We know on before, we want stories. And also do video production, but in storytelling. We want to see point A, we want to see point B, we want to hear the struggles, we want to see the transformation. We want to know how it looks like when we go through your program and where do we arrive, and just to know when we do arrive, where else we want to go from there. Because this is not the final destination.
Good luck. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Olga. That was great. Thank you, Lisa.
So just to be clear with Olga, we don't pitch here, but that would be in a pitch, like to share your presentation and take us along a story, your transformational, like that wouldn't happen at this event. But that's great advice, just to keep you in mind on understanding how that process works. So you said the right thing, but this event, we don't, that's why we're different, because you get to present as a business owner when you're struggling as a business owner. Daryl, you have something?
Just real quick, you talked about podcasts. Walsh and the Troy Chamber has a podcast that you guys are looking for because it's more focused on leadership and transformational journeys. So that's one you may want to look at.
So yeah, he said Walsh and Detroit Regional Chamber. Troy Regional Chamber have podcasts that might be more along your demographic. Drake, do you have something to share with them? No?
No, sure,
Okay.
TV.
Anyone else have some suggestions for, their looking at, helping them to attract their ideal customer? We still have time.
We do have a second question.
Okay, all right, we'll get to that. Let's see how it goes. Here you go.
Sorry, I forgot about this before. Whenever you finish with a client, this is what I do, and I get 3 to 4 referrals a month from this. When I'm done with the client, I have an automatic email that asks them to survey me, and then I have a link to my online Google business, and then they go and rate me. And then you need to put it in the city where you're located, so you'll be, if you start collecting enough of these, you'll be the #1 referral in your community.
So the caveat to that is that we are not a physical business with a brick and mortar, so we are all online and virtual, and Google does not allow for that, because I have looked into Google Business, you have to have a physical location for that.
I put my city I lived in personally, but.
Yeah, when I was doing it, it was asking for an address, I'm like, it's my personal.
You know what, executive, like this organization, you can generally pay for your address here.
Yeah.
And, right, and then you can come and use it if you need it, so that would go hand in hand with that. So I would pick a community where your majority of your clients currently work for your executive suite.
Thank you, Ian.
How much time do you guys spend thinking about complementary businesses to yours? So like, how do you partner with some businesses that do different than what you do, but have the same type of target demographic? Maybe there's, the skill set that business is looking for would work with yours. Is that something you spend much time on?
We are just thinking about partnerships. So even with HR companies, so they help the funders to fund their clients, to fund the new employees, and sometimes those funders are asking them for leadership training as well, but they don't provide that. So that is a good partnership that we can start creating. The thing with us is like how we get in front of them. We're still like with the funders, how we get in front of them and validate what we do and have that credibility.
So I think back to like when I started my business, when you have no like track record going, right? I worked with people that I knew, and that's probably where your first clients are going to come from. So I'm sure you're already spending time doing that. I would continue to focus on probably people that know you, that are more likely to, give you a chance to work with you, so that you have data you can put on your website, things like that.
Thank you. Yes.
I just want to know, on your online leadership videos, are you guys the ones conducting the leadership videos on there? Okay, I just wanted to know, because I was just thinking to myself that maybe you can take snippets of those and make them into mini commercials and start posting those regularly on different social media sites in order to help. Then even if you don't have a track record, a lot of times I guess if people are seeing you frequently and often, they can fall in love with you and say, yeah, I would like to work with that guy. Those two things there.
Thank you. suggestions, we do have another challenge for you. Let's see
Yeah.
who's on it. All right, so, is it not clicking? Cindy, can you go to the next? You can, okay.
It's not going, so, you know,
I know, I was like, wait, what is my, there's so many of them, you guys, who knows? Okay, so we are looking for help in an area that we're not quite experts in. So Erika and I come from a leadership development and a learning and development background, but we don't come from a sales background. And I think someone had mentioned it already with like lead generation. I think you had mentioned that kind of like investing in those kinds of companies. So we just want to know what have you guys done to kind of enhance sales? And I see you coming, girl. Come on up here. And is it worth it to invest in lead gen? We've looked at some of the things that we've tried just before we get to you real quick. Some of the things that we tried have been partnering with like lead gen companies, digital marketing companies, like from the Philippines. You can hire someone very inexpensively, but they do very quality work. And we're also considering partnering with local colleges for interns because we don't have a ton of extra cash right now. So we're looking for the least expensive, but biggest bang for our little buck that we can get. But yeah, that's the ask. Did you want to come on up?
I was sitting there totally thinking about this, and I know you were gonna ask. It wasn't your challenge, so I wasn't gonna mention it. But one of the things I would recommend to everybody, including you, because I was gonna ask, have you been through any formal sales training? No. So, formal, informal, some things are informal, even picking up a sales book, that would be informal, but find those techniques. I would highly recommend that because you believe in education and leadership training, sales training as a business owner, to go through a sales training program. Again, I'm doing a presentation today at 11:30 in Corktown about sales. So the evolution there, especially for small business owners, if you're under $1 million, under six figures, this will be a perfect opportunity to do that. But I highly, recommend just pouring into yourself, sales tactics, sales techniques, and getting into environments to present. And I say sales, and I know sales and this is actually part of my presentation too, is think of it more as serving. How can you be of service to them? But under the library, when you go to the library, you have to go up to sales. It doesn't say service. So just keep that in mind. But that would be the only thing I would say is just get into that habit of pouring into yourself, that you have it in your leadership training throughout the year, your professional development is sales.
yeah.
I love that. Thank you.
Is this
your first time here?
Yes.
This is my first time.
Come on. I know, sorry. You're in good company.
My mentor,
What business is?
so I was a State Farm agent, for 4 years previously. I was a
Oh, yeah.
sales consultant branch manager. I would highly recommend what you talked about is, because even if you have a company, even if you have a company that you're gonna outsource your sales, what are you gonna outsource it to do? So you really need to pick up that. And then also, I know you said that financially, you may not have all the resources available, but sometimes you have to borrow. You definitely need, if you look at understand your rate of return on the investment, it will be worth it. Something that you need to consider.
No, definitely. Yes, thank you.
Yes.
Good job. Good round of applause.
Does anyone else have any sales suggestions for Monarch Coaching? I thought so, Dan.
That's the dean of sales right there.
Got a couple of years of sales experience, but you may want to look for someone in the industry that already has contacts. Hire them as a salesperson, whether it's a 1099 or whether you go out and you get funding to fund your sales efforts. But find someone who has the type of contacts or has the access to the type of people that you really want to connect to. That's very, very important. But also, if you're going to hire a company, make sure you understand exactly what you want out of them, that your scripts are tailored to exactly what you're looking for, and that they can find the type of people that you want to connect to. But as a salesperson, and if you watch any sales movies, it's, ABC always be closing, it's always be selling. A company is like a baby. Everybody has a beautiful baby. You have a beautiful company, and I love what you do. And always be prepared to talk to people about what you do, why you do it, and what the value is. Because your best sales, your best leads are people that you run into when you're at the grocery store, when you're out shopping, when you're at an event. They ask, what do you do for a living? I'm glad you asked. Here's the value that I bring to my clients. So always remember those things.
Thank you. Erika, thanks.
Yeah, I would say the same thing. As you're educating your people through your social media and through the events that you're going to, that's a type of sales. Like you can just continue to educate. Somebody's gonna say, hey, how do I work with you? We're gonna go, oh, that's a sale. Okay. So yeah. Yeah, well, we have another person. Come on up here. You gotta come up here. Because you know what happens, just to be honest, just to be honest, he hasn't been here before. If they hear that.
Another round of applause for our newcomer.
Okay. All right. So my question is, you have clients right now, and have you done any of this so far? You got some practicing already?
Yes. So we do have one client right now, to full transparency, with Kresge Foundation, which is a great lead for us to have. So we're like, please love what we're doing. And she will. But yeah, so we have one right now, but we have tested all of this with a variety of different people, which we were saying earlier when we were piloting it. We were piloting with like a lot of business owners, but not people who were scaling quickly and not really people that had teams. But we do have individualized feedback and testimonials, which have all been glowing reviews, but we need to see the proof in the pudding with like actual companies. Yeah.
Second question for you, have you worked with any nonprofit organizations?
Not yet. We worked with the War Memorial, and we did that, but we were doing in-person workshops. So we shifted to online, just because it's more sustainable and it's a little bit more affordable as well. And for us, it's easier and good with the planet because we don't spend on paper, we don't spend on footprint. Yes. But we worked with that organization as well. We did their development for 6 months. We went there and we did several workshops.
Okay. So I have a growing nonprofit organization, right? And so this is interesting to me because we're evolving, and so this sounds interesting to me, right? So yeah, I'd be interested in.
We're gonna touch.
What was your name?
Willie Bell.
Willie.
And the organization is Family Assistance for Renaissance Men.
Oh,
Or Farm is the.
Yeah.
yes, we're gonna be in touch.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah.
Willie's the man. All right. Love it. Thank you. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
The last thing, we are social butterflies. So we are in present in LinkedIn, Instagram, and that is our website. If you have anything that maybe you didn't share with us right now, just we are open to talk with you and meet with you. We appreciate you so much. And yes, we are Monarch Coaching, and we are all here for you as well. Thank you.
Thank you. That was amazing. You did a wonderful job.
Let's go on the wired one. So, okay, well, thank you guys for your attention. This has been really great. There are a couple things from this meeting today I'm just going to do as a reminder. One, the Monarch Coaching did an amazing job, right? You're presenting your business and a struggle that you have. It's really difficult to come up here and be vulnerable and have to not sound like the experts that you know you are in your heart and your mind. But we're a safe community, right? We're a fun group, we're casual, we want you to present, we want to hear what you're doing and how you're doing it and how we can help you. So just if you would like to be a presenter in our group, if you have already been a presenter, you can come back after 6 months and present again. So 1millioncups.com/present and go to our community. If you've already presented here in the last couple of months, you can present in Ann Arbor, 1millioncups.com Ann Arbor, right? I want to remind you again, we're looking for organizers in the marketing role for our group. And if you haven't checked in yet, if you can scan on the QR code, and that's it. Now we're gonna have our Thrive community sponsor, Tracy or Daryl. They're gonna talk about, they get a couple minutes at the end of the meeting to talk about what Thrive is and how they help this community. Again, we're a volunteer organization. 1 Million Cups is, our organizers are not just Thrive organizers, although they do sit on the committee, just letting you know that. And we're gonna take a group picture right afterwards with the Monarch people so that we can put it on our YouTube channel. So thank you all for coming, and I'm gonna pass the mic to Daryl.
Thank you very much, Melissa. Thank you so much, Monarch. You guys did an amazing job today. I look forward to seeing you back here in 6 months when you hear about some success stories, right? And have all this good feedback and all these good suggestions that you can continue to grow and scale your business. So again, just want to talk a little bit about what we do at Oakland Thrive. We are a 501c3 nonprofit, and again, we do work through Oakland County Economic Development to help small businesses here. Across the county, there are 15 of us. If you are a Oakland County business and you're looking for assistance for your business, whether it's legal, whether it's trademarking, intellectual property, marketing, any of those types of services, we can assist you. So please introduce yourself to us before you leave here today so we can make sure that we get you in our system and we can get you some assistance. One of the things that we also offer we offer experts in every field. And some of those experts in the room today, we heard from one, Denise Mulligan. And we also want to hear from Lynn Drake, who is one of our newer partners, and she has a giveaway. So I'm going to invite Lynn up real quick to talk a little bit about what she does and what she's giving away today. And then we have some events that are coming up this week that Tracy's going to share with us as well. These are again part of the programs that we offer, some of the value that we offer our clients.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. I'm Lynn Drake. I'm the owner of a company called Compass Commercial. We work exclusively with business owners, helping them to lease or purchase commercial real estate. I have been with the organization for maybe 6 weeks at this point. I've already had 4 clients come through my office, and I thought I would share with you some of the things that we've helped. The first client that came through was a dentist getting ready to sell his practice or lease out his building. I went in and I completed a broker opinion of value for him, so he now knows what his building is worth to sell. I also created a list of other buildings for lease in the market, so he knows how to lease if he does a sale, if he sells the practice to somebody, how much to charge. Another client that came to me is working with a franchisor, and they're bringing a new concept to the Detroit market. And he was specifically looking for no buy. They had been out in the market looking for buildings for 6 months with no success. Within 5 days, I identified 6 buildings ready to move into in the market. So he should be moving out much quicker because the buildings they already have the restaurant equipment there, and they're the right size, and they were in his budget, and I actually found one in his ideal building. So that's another example of what I do. So anyways, I help, like I said, I don't represent landlords. I built a conflict of interest. I am one of only 3 brokerage firms in the market that only does this type of representation. So I don't take listings, is basically what that gets down to. And I don't have to try to win the landlords to like me because I really don't care. Although I like them, don't get me wrong, but I don't need to cow up to them, so to speak. Anyways, so I have 2 books that I've written. One is called Do You Speak Lease? It goes through the process that a business owner goes through if they want to lease space. And then I have Do You Speak Purchase? And it also goes through the same process. So I'm going to give one of these away. So I'm going to pick a number between 1 and 500. And whoever comes up closest but not over wins the books. So if anybody wants to give me numbers.
245. 7.
64.
311.
314.
450.
488.
500.
What was it? Yeah.
319.
Okay. The number is 339. Who's closest to that didn't go over?
I got 309.
Okay, you got it. All right.
Somebody,
319, okay. Perfect. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Lynn. 319, great number, love it. So I'm going to say that to have in
Where are our
Tracy,
speakers?
Mama?
Where are our speakers? Did they go in that room?
There.
Good morning, everyone. All right, last part. All right, so tonight, we have a workshop on getting ready for lenders for your business. Why is this important? All right, so you wouldn't think about purchasing a car or a home without getting financing or funding, would you? No, you're not gonna pay cash for it. You're not gonna pay out of your pocket. At least most can't.
Step down.
So this workshop helps you get prepared in order to get funding for your business. Helps you scale. Maybe you want to purchase property, just like Lynn was discussing. Maybe you need to scale. So that workshop is going on tonight, this evening, 4 o'clock. Oakland County Community College, Southfield campus. So hopefully you'll make it. And the next one is tomorrow, Southfield Public Library. It's the topic of the hour, at least today. Storytelling. All right, why is that important for your brand? Think about all the times that you wanted to support a business, an organization, an initiative based on the story that you heard. And you were like, I want to support them. I want to purchase from them. Think about how you can do that to attract your clients, how to change that and turn that into content for your business. Think about how you can create curiosity and sales for your business, storytelling. That is tomorrow, 5:30, Southfield Public Library. Alante Taylor from A. Taylor Media is going to be presenting. He does a phenomenal job. And of course, we're gonna have snacks, gotta have snacks. So if you want further information, register, scan the QR code, and see you tonight.
And those events are?
Okay. And both events are $3.99. That's the best price ever. So, all right, thank you guys. $3.99.
Thank you, Tracy. You can also find these events on our website, oakland5.org/events and workshops. So if you don't do flyers, you forget, you go, where do I find this? It's on the website. Lisa Davis, where is she? I don't see. And another one of our partners is in the room, that's Lisa Davis. She talks about money. She helps people. She helps prepare people. She has 30 seconds because we're already over.
That's 25 what you know to do.
Well, thank you for calling me.
Good morning. My name is Lisa Davis, and I'm here to talk to you about funding, as I've been talking to you about it all year. I work with all the bankers in Southeastern Michigan, and I now have a cohort that helps you get ready for capital. So it's capital readiness to help you understand what the bank is looking for in order to get you approved. So as a lender, I know exactly what you need to do in order to meet bank risk. So I want to talk to you about one thing. On Fridays, we have intimate discussions about your business and your capital needs and the barriers you've been facing. 8:30 in the morning, have some coffee, have a donut, and let's talk. Roughly about 3 to 7 people. We like to keep it intimate and small so that we can really get down to the crux of the things that are worrying you or concerning you about your business. The second thing is I want to invite you to the graduation for our first cohort. It's going to be November 4th at Bamboo, and you'll get to see people that have actually gone through the cohort that are now bankable. That means that they can either get financing now or they got a little bitty plan that they can get financing later, but their mindset has shifted so they understand what the bank is looking for, what risk means, and what bankability means for their business. So I'll pass out these flyers, and I hope to see a few of you on Friday so we can talk about your business needs.
And that's here, right?
That's here at Incubizo, 8:30 in the morning. Thank you, dear.
Thank you. So that's it, we're done. No more, no more time. Thank you so much, everyone. We're gonna do a group picture. If you want to be in the group picture, come up to the front. And if you have a 1 million cup, please hold your cup up because you want to get some
We're gonna surround our presenters.
Yeah.
Are we doing this?
Yeah, we're gonna do it.